Hey there, Grammy. How are y'all doing today? It has been requested that I do a video of my experience, and I completely am on board with that because honestly, I knew a couple of people who had a hysterectomy before me, but I'm gonna be honest with you. My experience was different than theirs. Theirs was different than mine. It just depends on you and your body. I really didn't know what to expect going into this. And so I am now 3 weeks, officially 3 weeks today, post-op. And so I feel like I can stand here and talk to you guys. I am sick, but I feel like if I don't do it now, when will I do it? Me and Jonathan and London have caught a cold from autumn. And so this is only day 2 of it, but we're trying to pull through. So let's hop right into it so that I can get back in my bed. One of the first things that I will say helps me tremendously was that I did get a nerve block. It's something kind of like an epidural that they put in your stomach while you're still under anesthesia after your surgery has been complete. And it basically makes the nerves in your body, in that part of your body, numb. So that way you don't have to worry about excruciating pain. It is said to have eliminated 80 to 90% of my pain, and it lasts about the first 2 to 3, maybe 4 days. Your hips will feel numb a little bit, but other than that, you can still walk, you can still move around. I was still very, well, I wasn't super mobile, but I was still able to, kind of move around. Now, it's not like an epidural. It doesn't make all your legs numb, just this general area. Another thing that I will say was, or could have been helpful if I had gotten it in the beginning, was a pillow. So they have hysterectomy pillows on Amazon. They have a cooling and heating element. They also have, you can also do like a pregnancy pillow. But if you don't want to do that, because they are expensive, and I mean, you're not having a hysterectomy every month or every day, right? So you can just buy like an inexpensive heating pad, or more than likely, if you're having a hysterectomy, you've experienced excruciating pain over some time and probably already have a heating pad. You can always just use a heating pad for the areas that are a little sore and things like that. I did use a heating pad, and I just kind of layered up on my pillows, and it helped. It helped a lot. I did not buy a hysterectomy pillow, but I heard it's absolutely amazing. If you're going to be doing this alone, unfortunately, you can, I would invest in it. That's just me. Another thing I want to highly recommend is take your gas X, take your stool softener, because honestly, that is the main source of the pain. I mean, when I tell you the bubbles, the gas bubbles are so annoying. And so if your doctor doesn't mention that they're giving you prescription strength gas X, ask for it. Ask for prescription strength gas X. And don't let them tell you, oh, you can get it over the counter. No, I want prescription strength. Prescribe it to me, okay? Prescribe it to me. Take your stool softeners every single day and be prepared. It may not work right away. It may not work right away. It may take you 3 or 4 days to have your first bowel movement. And just brace yourself, because it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be quite painful. One of the things that did help me in those first few days, I drank the day I finally had a bowel movement, I drank some pomegranate juice. Organic pomegranate juice. 100% organic, like straight from a juicer. And it did help. A lot of people were saying prune juice as well. But we didn't have prune juice, and I needed something immediately. And so we did the pomegranate juice, and it worked miracles, literally. Drank it while I was sitting on the throne. And within about 30 minutes, I started feeling movement. And within about an hour, I was doing what I needed to do. And so the reason why I would suggest having prune juice or pomegranate juice or some type of juice that'll work as a laxative for you is because your pain medicine is working against you when it comes to constipation. And so it's actually making that stool softener work even freaking harder. And so it makes it where the stool softener is struggling to work as effectively as it needs to. Biggest recommendation. For those doing this alone, a few things that you can do to prepare yourself. I would definitely, if you don't have a table, a small table, I would definitely get you like a small table. You can go to Ross, you can go to Marshalls or something like that, and get you Amazon and get you like a smaller coffee table. That way you can have your medicine on that table. And I will also get you a Yeti cup. So that way you can put ice and water in that cup, and you can buy like a gallon of water from the grocery, and put it on that table too. And anytime you need a refill of water, you'll have that ice in the Yeti. Ice can last 12 to 24 hours. So you can have ice cold water and you can refill yourself without having to keep getting up. I would also budget for food delivery services and grocery delivery services. I would budget because you don't know how this is going to affect you. I've had people say that they had to have 5 more surgeries after they had a hysterectomy because the first surgery, the doctor messed something up. I've had people say that they had to go back and remove something else. Like, you just don't know how it's going to affect you. I've also had people say that they were fine after theirs, that they were able to go back to work in a few days. It all depends on a few key elements. What type of hysterectomy you're going to have, and how your body responds to the hysterectomy. If you're having one laparoscopically, more than likely you'll be okay to move around within some days. But again, that just depends on how your body responds to the surgery. If you are getting it done robotically, which means you're going to have more incisions, you may not have the ability to just pop up like that after surgery. If you're having it where you're getting cut bikini line, yeah, you're definitely not going to be able to just get up, move around, do whatever you want to do right away. And so it just depends on which one you have and how your body adapts and takes what it's gone through. Sometimes too, you could go into a hysterectomy thinking you get ready to do one thing. I know somebody that said she had a procedure done where she was going in for something with her reproductive system, but it wasn't hysterectomy, and woke up with a full hysterectomy. Everything was gone. And I think she did respond to my question as to why that happened to her. I have to look at it in my DMs, but yeah, like, you just don't know. You gonna go into the surgery and you genuinely don't know. And so I would prepare for the worst. Prepare to not be able to get up and cook and go to the grocery and things like that. I would definitely try to grocery shop as much as you can prior to surgery. But just prepare to, use delivery services. I would have a table if you're going to do like DoorDash, Uber Eats, and things like that. I would have a table outside your door and ask them to please place it on the table so that you don't have to bend over to get the food off the patio. Sorry, excuse me. I definitely was more comfortable sleeping in an incline. And so the couch has been my bed for about 70 to 80% of the last 3 weeks. Laying down, especially the first week or two, it was extremely hard for me. It's easy for me now. So like, I slept in the bed last night and I was fine. But the first couple of weeks, it was hard. And so sleeping in a slight incline, like I said, on the couch or whatever the case may be, I definitely would prepare for that as well. Nice blankets and things like that. I think that was just easier for me. And I heard some other people say that it was easier for them as well. So I would highly recommend just preparing yourself to be on the couch for at least the first week. Because it's definitely, a little easier in this midsection especially like if you're like me, I'm a stomach sleeper. And so the first couple of weeks was so hard for me. And yes, pregnancy was the worst when it came to sleeping. The minute I couldn't sleep on my stomach anymore, I always found out I was pregnant 4 weeks, 5 weeks. And so it took me about a good 5 to 7, maybe 8 weeks before I could no longer sleep on my stomach, at least with the first one. With the second one and the third one, I was showing by 6 weeks. And so unfortunately, I couldn't sleep on my stomach and I was miserable. So yes, I'm a hard stomach sleeper, and that's where I'm the most comfortable. And so it was hard for me to lay down like on my side. I'd wake up and my back hurt and things like that. And so sleeping in a little bit of an incline or sleeping sitting up, it just was easier for me. And so I definitely would try that, especially if you try laying down and it's just not working for you. Try sleeping in a bit of an incline. It will help a lot. Another thing, there was a few people in the comments that was saying about, like, why did I have to do this? Why did they make me do this? Why this and why that? And that their hospital and their doctor didn't make them do these things. And those were also some of the same people that were complaining about their experience and how the doctor basically messed them up. One thing I want you to make sure you do is advocate for yourself and make sure you're 100% comfortable. Make sure you're 100% comfortable. If you're not 100% comfortable, do not do this surgery. Do not do this surgery with that doctor. Get another doctor. Get somewhere where they're going to make sure you are comfortable. I feel like the care that I received should definitely be the standard. I really, really do. They gave me a nausea patch on the back of my ear. They gave me the nerve block. They continuously verified who I was and what I was there for, making sure that I was well aware of what was going on. I got literally all the medicines. I got Tylenol 3, oxycodone, ibuprofen, nausea medicine, gas, prescription strength gas X, and I got stool softeners. Like, I got everything. My doctor made sure I was set. I had a pre-op visit with my doctor and a pre-op visit with anesthesiologist, with the anesthesiologist team. My doctor explained very thoroughly exactly what she was doing at my pre-op visit. She had a chart there and a whole folder for me to take home and look at and study and be reassured of what's about to happen. And so there was never a time where I was uncomfortable, felt unsafe, felt unheard. And so if you feel that way, if you feel that you are being unheard and you don't feel safe and you don't feel like your doctor's listening to you, to find another doctor. And don't be ashamed of that. Don't be afraid of that. Don't be don't feel bad about that. Don't feel guilty. You don't owe them nothing. They working for you. You're paying them. So at the end of the day, if you need to, do what you gotta do. Do what you have to do. And don't feel bad, not even a little bit. Because at the end of the day, this is your life. This is your womb. This is your experience that you're going to have to deal with once this is all over. So if you don't feel like, I'm telling you, if your doctor don't offer you a nerve blocker, if you mention it, they're like, what is that? Or leave, go somewhere else. If you're like, there are many doctors out here who, are amazing. And then there's many that aren't. And especially as Black women, we just have to be careful. We have to be careful. So I highly suggest, if you're not hearing what you want to hear, move on. So sorry. Aside from that, you're going to probably, like I said, if your doctor, if your hospital is as thorough as mine was, you're going to get what's called a binder. And you're going to have to wear that for at least the first couple of weeks. You can wear it for the whole 6 weeks, but it's not mandatory. It's really just kind of hold everything in. You are going to be a bit swollen after. Don't be alarmed, especially if you're like me and you had to get like parts of your walls taken off, and I had to get my ovaries suspended and stitched to the sides of my body because they were hanging too much, and it was just a lot. And so I'm still a little swollen, but it's very normal. My doctor said it's very, very normal. Don't expect to bleed a whole lot. And if you do bleed a whole lot, call your doctor. That means something is wrong with your vaginal cuff. So call your doctor immediately if you start bleeding like you're having a cycle. But little spotting is going to happen for the first couple of weeks. Don't be alarmed. Make sure, if you haven't never had a child, one of the biggest rule of thumbs when you have a child is to stock up on the stuff at the hospital to take home with you. Do that at the hospital after your hysterectomy as well. Take all the pads home with you. Take all the pads that they have in your room home with you. They have the little postpartum panties, which is what I wore for the first couple of days because, again, I was pretty swollen. They were the most comfortable. Take them with you too. Take it all with you, okay? Because you're going to need those pads. At least for the first 2 to 3 weeks, you're going to need those pads. And so take as much as you can with you. Don't be shy. You paid for it. If it's in your room, you paying for it. So take it all with you. Pack it in your bag, okay? Aside from that, just know that it's going to be a journey. It's going to be hard. Don't let other people tell you, oh, I had mine and it was a breeze. Or, oh, I had mine and it was horrible. I had all the emails and DMs and comments of mixed feelings and mixed experiences. All I can tell you is that your experience will be very unique to you. And you can only, that's all you got. So prepare for the worst. Pray for the best. And you'll be okay. You'll get through. And to all of those who are having this procedure, but unfortunately had not been yet blessed with the blessing of motherhood, please know that motherhood can look however God intends for you to look. However God intends for it to look. At the end of the day, there are so many women out here who get pregnant and they know for a fact, like, I cannot do anything for this child. There are so many women out here there are so many children out here who need a safe home. And you can give them that safe home. If you want motherhood from birth, you can adopt the baby before the baby is even born. You can go through the process, and as soon as that baby is born, that baby is yours. You could be in a room with them and everything, depending on the mother and what they wish for. You can also adopt, if you want to skip the baby stage, skip the baby age, and, maybe adopt a toddler. Like, at the end of the day, there is a purpose for your life. There's a purpose for your pain. And I want to encourage you to yield that purpose for the story that God had already ordained for you. And we don't know exactly what God wants from us. All we know is that as long as we follow his lead, we'll get there. So don't allow yourself to get down because you didn't experience motherhood. Motherhood can look however it needs to look. And yes, it will be a process to grieve that no matter what, you will never have a child with your same bloodline. And I understand that. I really do. But at the same time, what a blessing you'll be to a child that would have ended up in foster care or ended up on an Amber Alert because nobody would take them from their mom when she was pregnant with them and knew for a fact she didn't want them. So just everybody's life has a purpose. And so this is your time to find your purpose. What does God want you to do with this blessed mess that you've been given? If I think of anything else, I will definitely come back and let you guys know. A little recap. Get the hysterectomy pillow if you can. Make sure you stock up on some prune juice or pomegranate juice. I also heard boiling ginger can help with gas. Ginger ale, because you can drink it, it can kind of force the gas out as well because of the carbonation, or carbonated water. Make sure you get a table so that you can put, like I said, your water and your ice cup and your medicine on that table so that you can be able to lay and rest. And make sure that you set aside funds to be able to do meal delivery if you need to, if you feel, I don't know what you're going to feel like after surgery, but if you felt like I felt, you're not going to be up in the kitchen on your feet cooking. So I definitely would, suggest that if you don't have a partner with you and it's just you, I would prep for you to have to DoorDash and things like that. Just kind of think about all of that as you're preparing mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, and financially for this surgery. Again, if your hospital will offer the nerve block, get the nerve block. It will save your life. If your hospital does not, it won't hurt you to see if there is one. If there is a doctor who does offer it, and we'll take care of you in that manner. I love you. I thank you guys for all of your prayers. Make sure you have comfy pajamas too. Let me not forget that. Make sure you have comfy pajamas that will allow you to have your binder on, and they won't, you can have your binder on and it won't be a worry. So whether it's oversized t-shirt pajamas or whatever the case may be, just make sure you have some comfy pajamas. They're going to be a lifesaver for you. But I love you. Rain is screaming. Jonathan needs to come in here and bathe her. I love you, and I thank you guys for all your prayers and all your well wishes. And I apologize for not posting as much as I normally do. It's been a lot. Now we're sick. It's been a lot. And then I had to do some sponsored posts too, since within these 3 weeks I've had to do 3 or 4, maybe 5 different sponsored posts. So it's just been a lot. But I appreciate you guys still loving on us. I appreciate you guys being patient with us. And I am praying for you, and I'm praying for your journey. Please let me know if you have any other questions, because again, I'm not feeling well. More than likely, there are things I meant to say that I probably didn't. So ask your questions in the comments and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Love you guys. Sweet dreams.